I'm Megan Kuhn with Powerhouse Real Estate, and today I'm going to talk to you about what you can expect for your buyer's due diligence when you're selling your home. Once we list your property on the market, you're going to get offers from buyers, hopefully multiple. Once we get you under contract, then the buyer has the opportunity to conduct their due diligence. Another way that we describe this is their inspection period. The buyer will come in and they'll write an offer based on what they see at the property and what they can see up front. We will then give them the opportunity to conduct a full inspection and check anything that they might have concern about. During this inspection period, they're going to conduct a full, thorough inspection. They'll hire a licensed inspector to come into your home, and usually this process takes about 3 hours, which can be surprising and feel overwhelming as a seller to allow someone to nitpick through your home for 3 hours. However, it is the buyer's opportunity to get a thorough check of the property and to understand exactly what it is they're purchasing. And so we have to allow them that opportunity as part of the contract. They'll come in, they're going to open all the windows, they're going to check all of your electrical outlets, they're going to look at the electrical box, all of your utilities. So we want to make sure that we give them full access to all of those things so that they can do a thorough check, they don't have to come back, and they don't have lingering questions after the inspection is over. Once the inspection is complete, the buyer then can hire other people to come in and do a more thorough check of any concerns they might have. For instance, if the inspector flags the roof as maybe old or some of the utilities like the furnace, then we can get an actual HVAC person or a roof specialist in to double check those things to see what their opinion is on it and maybe even get bids to get those things repaired or replaced. Once the buyers have the opportunity to do their full inspection and they feel confident in what they found, they will present a list of repairs that they're requesting from you, the seller, to complete. These could be items such as HVAC repairs, getting things serviced, even replacing a full roof could come into play. It all depends on the buyer. What's interesting about this process is that every buyer is going to have different concerns, even with the same inspection report, because certain things are important to certain people. And so as we look at the same inspection report, certain things stand out to some buyers that might not stand out to others. So we really can't dictate what they're going to ask for until the buyer presents their requests. They could ask for this in 3 different ways. They can ask for either you to complete the repairs, they could ask for a discount on the purchase price where we bring the price down based on anything that they think needs to be done to the property, or they could ask for a closing cost credit. And so then you would just pay some of their closing costs at closing and they would complete the repairs after closing. The most common things that buyers will usually ask for when it comes to inspection repairs are health concerns, like if the property tests positive for mold or meth or radon. These are common tests that are done during an inspection period, and they are very health detrimental if they are found in the property over long periods of time. They can be very concerning for someone to live in a home that has positive readings on those. Also, anything that's of safety concern, so electrical work that could cause a fire or anything like that, as well as big items that are broken like furnace, water heater, things like that. Of course, somebody's not going to want to move into a home that doesn't have a working water heater or furnace. Those are common things that need to be repaired. So those are common things. However, they always have the ability to ask for anything that they see as a concern. So, I mean, we could get as narrow as they want the hand railing on the stairs fixed, things like that. So we really just have to be open-minded, take the buyer's requests, and then decide how the seller would like to respond to those requests based on their abilities and how badly we want the deal closed. Now, something to consider when we're looking at the buyer's list is, are these concerns that are going to come up with the next buyer? If we refuse to fix these things and we allow this buyer to walk away, are we going to have to get into the same situation with the next buyer? Is the next buyer going to come in and demand that the water heater is fixed, or demand that the stair railing be fixed? And so those are conversations that we'll have with you as your real estate agent to walk you through and decide if these repairs are reasonable and if they're worth doing to keep the deal intact, or if it's something that we want to walk away from and allow this buyer to move on so that we can get a better offer the second time around. Another side note with this is you can always renegotiate. If a buyer sends a list over and you are okay with some of the repairs but not all of them, or if they send an amount over that they'd like to request, we can always renegotiate and counter back to their offer. So we can say, we'll fix these things but not these things, or we'll offer this amount instead of the amount that you asked for. So this is just another part of the negotiation process throughout the contract. I think one thing that becomes shocking to sellers in some cases are these different negotiation pockets throughout the transaction. When we start the negotiations with the original offer, that's not the end of our contract negotiations. We have our due diligence that we just talked about, and then our third negotiation period throughout the process is our appraisal. When that appraisal comes in, we have the opportunity again to negotiate if the appraisal comes in low, or if it's an FHA or VA appraisal and requires repairs. At that point, it's our third negotiation, and then that price and all of the contract items are locked in until we get to closing. So keep that in mind as you go under contract as a seller, that the set price at the beginning isn't always gonna be what you end with. There are still these opportunities for the buyer to renegotiate or walk away if you refuse to renegotiate. If you have any questions about anything that we covered today, leave a comment in the video notes and I will get back to you with the answer.